Adrenaline pumping, nerves tight as bowstrings. You stand shoulder to shoulder with the best in the world. And that's the easy part. What lies ahead is 160 miles of off-road hell. If there's any surface you don't like, you're sure to find it here. From slippery creek crossings to fight-breaking rock gullies, 100-mile-an-hour flats to gut-wrenching downhills. So far, so good? Great. Now, let's ride the whole course backward at night. What's the point? Simple, really. Create one of the world's most challenging races. Gather the best. And then test their skill, their nerve, their endurance, and ultimately their will. Will to win. Will to be the last man standing.
If you want to be the last man standing, gotta live your life with
88 very special riders arrive at Red River Motorcycle Park on the Texas-Oklahoma border. This is invitation only, and the invitations have gone out to the best in the business. That guy, Mike Lafferty. He's won the AMA National Enduro Championship 7 times. Jimmy Lewis, past winner of the Baja 1000, finished Paris-Dakar on the podium. Guy Cooper, factory motocrosser, turned off-road threat. And there's Jeff Fredette, gold medalist at the ISDE 8 times. It's an international field. From the Isle of Man, David Knight, reigning world enduro champion. Going head-to-head with the big dogs, a talented field of amateurs inspired in part by the level playing field. No practice, no qualifying. Riders allowed to walk only the first mile of the course, looking for the secret to the bomb run start.
You'll be a lot better coming off this center hill here than you would going around.
Right, because see, there's that rock right there that you'd come to the side of it. So you could come right down through there, and you've got a clean shot instead of going around.
We're all just trying to, that where there being no set trail, we're all trying to figure out which way to go. We all got to end up at the same spot.
Survive that flat-out first mile, and then what?
I don't really know what to expect. I've heard there's a bunch of rocks. I've seen the videos on the website. It looks pretty fun. They say there's supposed to be some gnarly stuff out there. I'm just trying to expect the worst, I guess.
I've rode Hell's Gate in Italy, Erzberg in Austria, so hopefully if it's like them, it's going to be really, really tough. So yeah, these guys can expect a bit of a nightmare maybe.
The one thing I've learned by coming to these races is you don't know what to expect. I mean, that's how you be prepared. Don't know what to expect.
Oh, it's going to be real tough getting behind riders in this type of situation because the trees are tight, can't pass really. And like I said before, it's totally different from arm riding where you go off the trail a little bit and pass.
That's why I'm down here. They said this was going to be gnarly and tough, and I don't know if I'm so tough anymore, but I'm gnarly. Arr.
So everybody's heard about how tough the course is going to be. It was designed to be very tough. This is a give-up towel. If each rider just put this on your person somewhere, put it in your fanny pack, put it on you. If you get to a spot, to a hill, and you cannot get through there, it's time to raise a white flag. We'll get you out of there.
The world champion wastes no time demonstrating how he claimed that crown. David Knight grabs the lead before mile marker 1. The first 15 miles, pasture and riverbeds. Where things get tough, crowds have gathered. When we come back, the first major test of skill and nerve in the inaugural running of Red Bull's Last Man Standing. The event is unique. Red Bull's Last Man Standing. 88 riders on the first of 4 40-mile loops. So who's the man to beat?
I would say for sure it would be David Knight, just because he's actually a specialist in this kind of race, and he's quite a bit stronger than anybody over in Europe right now. And then, of course, the Americans don't have a whole lot of experience with this stuff. So I'd say he's an odds-on favorite. But then again, he's never been here, ridden here. He's probably not riding his, personal bike. So then, you're going to have guys like Lafferty who can probably, do everything he can do. It's just a matter of who's the strongest.
But let's also consider the matter of motivation. Here's New Jersey's Lafferty, the perennial American champion, into an early second place with an opportunity to upstage his KTM teammate Knight, the world champion. So let's have a look at Knight in action. First major obstacle, called the waterfall, reduced by dry weather to a puddle and a difficult climb up a rocky face. Nicely done. In hot pursuit, Lafferty manages the climb with a bit less foot dabbing. Unfortunately, that little detour at the top takes back any time he might have gained. And now the Joshua Tree Hill climb. Near the top, Knight is off and pushing, but clearing this crest is cause for celebration. Others find little to cheer about.
Yes, the course is really rough. It's really taking a toll on my bike. Broke my brake pedal. Had some other problems with my chain getting real tight on me. It's just, it's pretty nasty out there.
Back at the waterfall, there is simply no justice. Guy Cooper threw cleanly, but watch David Camo get hung up on the rock ledge. A tiny bump from Danny Morrison not only saves Camo's tail, but actually gets it going again. While poor Morrison's inadvertent good deed goes seriously unrewarded, he finds himself headed in exactly the wrong direction. Just give me a minute here, guys. I'll get this sorted out. Well, fat chance. Adding insult to injury, Nathan Canny and Justin Williamson jump in front of Morrison, with Canny taking a rather unorthodox line. Do you think he did that on purpose? In any case, it's monkey see, monkey do from there. And the upshot of Morrison's little ordeal, he loses 2 spots, while Camo, who started this traffic jam, is long gone. Like I said, no justice. Now let's take a moment to demonstrate the benefit of perseverance. Jason Greer en route to a top 20 on lap 1. Had Joshua Tree a study in contrast. Guy Cooper consulting his crew, while Camo just grabs a handful and goes for it. Okay, it may not be textbook pretty, but at this point, all that matters is making it over the top. Camo does, and picks up a position from the more cautious Cooper. For our friend Danny Morrison, the waterfall misadventure is a fading memory. But there is every indication that this may be a very long day. Up front, Knight has opened a 3-minute lead over Lafferty with rides like this through a gully called Triple Threat. Meantime, the log jam everyone predicted is taking a toll at Joshua Tree.
So gnarly, dude. Holy crap.
Hey, with only 4 guys stuck up there, let's make it 5. Take a moment to thank the friendly and efficient volunteer staff who kept you from tumbling all the way back to the bottom. Knight Now, making the daring dive into what is known as Texas Stadium. The beauty of little things. Watch his quick left-hand wave to acknowledge the cheers of the crowd. For Lafferty, the challenge is clear. The American champion needs to close the gap, apply a little pressure to the world champion, who hasn't seen much of that this year. Knight clinched his 05 world crown with one race left and became the first Brit to claim overall victory in the ISDE. Will he now be the last man standing? Clearly, Lafferty is feeling a bit of pressure. Now let's have a look at Justin Williamson. Despite this bit of difficulty at the water ball, Justin has climbed to third overall behind Knight and Lafferty. One of the rising stars on the AMA Grand National Cross Country Tour, this Yamaha-mounted Florida teenager has become the most serious threat to the KTMs up front. Not to mention the occasional course marshal. The end of lap 1, 40 miles down, the world champion in full control.
Water? How you feeling? How you feeling?
Yeah, okay, just thirsty.
You got to be How's the bike? Everything good? Hey, nobody's running your pace out there. What you're doing now is perfect.
Well, in reality, Lafferty is holding his own. The interval steady at 3 minutes. But Knight has heard what he wants to hear. Keep doing what you're doing. The race is yours to lose. A competitor since age 4, the 27-year-old Knight has a wealth of experience on which to draw. But there has never been an event quite like this before, a daylight into darkness marathon to decide the last man standing. In only the first of 4 laps, more than half the field has been eliminated. We'll get back to the action right after this. Welcome back to Last Man Standing. No, it won't be this man. Second place, Mike Lafferty pits for fuel. A little electrical maintenance.
It's awesome on that shit. Is it? Yeah. Ow, they're hot. They're hot. What's the tape? Yeah. If you wouldn't rip that stuff off, it wouldn't be near so dramatic when you touch it. You see when I ride it though, when I hit the handlebars. Makes a hell of an arc, I bet. Yeah, it does. You'll be fine. This bike is so cool. Does it work good in the upshift?
Working lap 2, Knight demonstrates one of the keys to an event like this. When something goes a little bit wrong, don't make it worse. Don't waste a lot of energy trying to get it right. Cut your losses, get things pointed in the right direction, keep on trucking. The key to this deal is the format. Make it to halfway within an hour of the leader, and it's a brand new race.
Now I'm just taking my time. This morning thing's only a trail ride, really. All you have to do is get to the night, and then we can start racing. So I just don't want to get an hour behind the leaders. I'm just kind of pacing myself off that. I got a really good start this morning. Everything's going according to plan. So it's a lot easier than I thought. It's just longer than I thought.
Indeed, fall an hour behind and you're out. That happens minute by painful minute.
Pretty scary right now, doesn't it?
Oklahoma's Guy Cooper, a local favorite, never met a motorcycle race he didn't like. He's battling moments like this one in a diligent effort to stay in the top 10. 15 years removed from his national motocross championship, Coop has never lost his passion for competition, racing everything from this kick-butt KTM thumper to outrageous pit fights and always drawing a cheer. Bear in mind the mission here. Stay within an hour of the leader or you're done. Jason Greer, again, still struggling, but still within that precious hour. Though the race lasts for hours, progress is made in fits and starts. Energy conservation, that's a priority. Let the bike do the work. Emphasize skill, not muscle. But fatigue is now the enemy. The key question simple. How many more times can I pick this thing up and keep going? The surrender of lesser men only amplifies this performance. It's frustrating, don't you think, watching David Knight make it look so damn easy.
Amazing watching these guys go through some of this stuff. I can't imagine how they're doing it and how they're staying on the bikes, and watching, you know, the top 2 or 3 guys struggling with this first hill. It's just amazing that, you know, even the top guys in the country are having difficulty with some of this stuff. So, and you know, David Knight went through it just smooth as could be, and everybody else has struggled, you know, no matter how good they are. So it's great to watch. I wouldn't want to be out there.
Well, I don't need that piece anymore. I just wish I'd break something critical, then I could quit. The nature of an event like this is to humble even the best riders. Billy Russell inside the top 5 with a shot at being the last man standing. So why is it the cameras are only around for moments like this? We'll be right back. In this unique 2-wheel torture test, just 25 riders make the halfway cut, but only if they are also within an hour of the race leader. A scant handful cling to any realistic hope to be the last man standing. Texan Caleb Ramsey's chances hang by a thread. He's in 17th place. Make that 18th as Floridian Mike Phillips takes the spot on this slippery uphill. But every inch of ground gained, every position earned is so easily lost. Phillips at triple threat. Thus the toll on man and machine continues to mount. It's a tough choice, really. Who gets the water? For the one-man teams, happiness is finding the right gas can, finding the strength to crank it up one more time, finding that the damage is not terminal.
Man, things are, the bars are bent to hell, Bob. I don't know that we can do anything about that. You know, I'm kind of used to it to where I can probably ride it out. Everything's tight. Let's make sure the bark busters aren't going to come off.
Pretty good. That front tire has a lot of air in it.
In the combat zone, meanwhile, the fighting for position often close quarter. Nathan Canny, his second ride up the waterfall. Smooth, fast. He's a solid fifth. Jimmy Lewis, 7th. Remember his words? Just a morning trail run. The real racing comes later. Tell that to this guy. There are, by the way, reasons not to linger where you fall. And fall they do. They fall with predictable and painful regularity. But they keep picking themselves up and trying again. Next time, I'll get it right. Next time, I won't fall. It's man against gravity, and the struggle continues right after this. Welcome back to Bolcher, Texas, where this inaugural gathering of two-wheeled masochists is down to crunch time. American Mike Lafferty continues his relentless pursuit of this man, race leader, 2005 World Enduro and ISDE champion David Knight, who makes the hard work look so easy. In contrast, Brian Vaughn tries desperately to hold on to 25th place, last possible qualifying spot for the two last night race, and he could not afford that. It takes a special kind of willpower to keep getting up. If you don't finish lap 2 within an hour of the leader, you're out of the race. But to finish lap 2 at all is an accomplishment.
I wanted to quit so bad, man. I was thinking so bad about throwing that white tail in. I was beat, man.
That's it. Load in the chin.
What's that? I'm done?
Gonna hurt.
Yeah, it does.
Pretty tough out there?
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I had smashed a radiator in the first round and had to run back to the pit and change it out, so I lost probably about 15, 20 positions there.
It was a 10 on a 10 scale. It was the hardest track I've ever ridden. I've been riding for 20 years and pretty much all over, everywhere. And it was the hardest track I've ever rode. It was awesome, though. It's a great learning experience.
For Lafferty, meanwhile, the game has changed. There's no chance to catch Knight, to challenge him, perhaps pass him, serve him notice that he has a fight on his hands. The key now is to avoid mistakes. Lafferty and everyone else will have another chance under cover of darkness. The Brit, known as Nighter, headed for the pits. The quicker he gets there, the quicker he starts a 2-hour rest break. Back at Texas Stadium, 4th and 5th place, right together. 4th belongs to David Camo. Remember him, the guy who got that helpful little assist earlier at the waterfall? Time lost now is of no consequence. The handful who make it to halfway will start the night race dead even. At this point, saving energy is what matters most. It's a nice ride for Nathan Canny, who's coming off a career best second place GNCC finish at Unadilla, New York. Remember that hard fall that Billy Russell took his first trip through Texas Stadium? Well, let's replace that with a better memory and note that Billy is safely qualified for the 2 nighttime laps and a chance to be the last man standing. So, what does the world champ and race leader think of his visit to Texas so far?
It's not so hard as them, but, you know, 2 laps of that then was real long. And it's real humid feeling, you know. It's real difficult to breathe. So, yeah, another 2 laps is going to be made.
And his challenger, Lafferty, sums it up this way.
Wow. It's pretty cool, though. You know, it's just, I haven't raced yet. It seems like I got off to a half-decent, not a real good start. I got kind of hung up on that first little bomb thing, and then I got into some briars and got my kill switch taken off there. And that stopped the bike pretty good, and I figured that out. And once I got that put back together, and then I had to race to the front, wasn't sure exactly where I was. And then once I knew I was in second, I just kind of cruised, and I haven't done anything since. I just kind of been plugging along and staying out of trouble, trying to just conserve my energy and just kind of plug along. So it's kind of a hard thing just to sit back and not race yet.
The Florida teenager, Justin Williamson, echoes that strategy.
The first 2 laps definitely are a little more laid back. We're just trying to survive out there. It's not going to be like, what, 10 hours of racing out there. This next night loop here, definitely we're going to pick up the speed, and then that last loop will be where we're going to try to really crank it up.
Hard fact, only 18 riders stayed within their hour. What if no one is left standing?
The word that I got was that the course is just so long and so brutal that it just wears on them, and they're physically getting beat. And that 2 more laps, they didn't know if anybody would finish 2 more complete laps.
We'll be back to see what awaits these 18 survivors. Midway through Last Man Standing, survivors continue to arrive.
Shut it off.
Made the cut.
Hey, you're number 12 overall. We're going to cut out Bill's Woods for the night loops, okay? So that'll save 45 minutes to an hour.
How long we got?
And, you got at least an hour to get yourself ready. So get yourself something to eat, drink. You made a hell of a comeback, man. You all right from that flip on Joshua Tree? All right.
Steve Levian has reason to look beat and beat up. Ouch. And that's only going to hurt worse after an hour or so of rest. The length of each rider's break determined by how far behind he was. Individual priorities during the downtime vary somewhat, but physical needs come second to those of the bikes, all of which now get a set of lights, not your off-road norm.
Caleb, I've got some good news and I have some bad news. Well, the good news is you're number 18 and you're going to be running again.
Right.
The bad news is you're number 18 and you're going to be running again.
Yeah. I know what you mean, man. It's I'm dying out there. That was something else. I think I can make it, but I don't know. I'm pretty beat right now.
How much experience have you had running with lights?
See here. Monday night, about 30 minutes. Yep, that's about that much.
As the Texas sun sets, this unusual competition takes on a whole new dimension. It's now an 18-rider night race. Note the different choices in helmet lighting, from fairly elaborate to none at all. Having passed the brutal 80-mile preliminary test, one of these will be the last man standing. And the rules of the game have changed.
We've shortened down the third and the fourth lap for you. What you're going to do down here at the bottom of the creek, just like you did this morning, where you turned right and went up to the bomb area. It's marked. There's people standing there. You're going to turn left. Pick up the night arrows. Night arrows are black backgrounds with white arrows on them.
In this last moment of pre-race calm, there is a certain camaraderie, a feeling of shared accomplishment. But once those engines start, it will be dog eat dog. Remember that talk about picking a good line for the bomb run? Well, the definition of a good line obviously varies. A good start, though, is critical because all 18 riders know what kind of bottlenecks will develop at the major obstacles. Those areas have been brightly lit to benefit racers, spectators, and TV cameras. Surprise! David Knight is first to Texas Stadium, now ridden in reverse. That intimidating drop-off Now a slippery and treacherous uphill. And you know that's going to be a problem, and it doesn't take long to develop. That's magazine writer and Paris-Dakar veteran Jimmy Lewis, well and truly past the morning trail ride for the event. Running on SpaghettiOs and youthful enthusiasm, Justin Williamson is in the thick of the early fight, but the toughest sledding is still to come. We'll be back with more of Red Bull's Last Man Standing right after this. Welcome back to Last Man Standing. There's a particularly devilish section of the Red River Motorcycle Park course. It's called Boulder Hill for the obvious reason. Note that ridden in reverse, it is a downhill, and based on what we're seeing at nearby Texas Stadium, that's probably a good thing. Watch the orange t-shirt, guys, coming down the hill to help. Big guy on the right. Okay, he helps a little. And here's the thanks he gets. Now, there is a certain etiquette here. Guy Cooper is willing to wait for Ryan Dudek until Dudek does that. Now, it's time for Cooper to go. But when he can't find any traction, he and Dudek are both upstaged by the late arriving Nathan Canny. Pardon me, boys, coming through here. And Canny picks up 2 spots in the process. On to triple threat. In the course change, this obstacle was not reversed, and David Knight, day or night, is up on the pegs and making it look easy. A couple of quick dabs, and he's on his way. In contrast, Jimmy Lewis down in the seat and paddling. Fatigue taking its toll. Hey, give Jimmy credit. He's moving. At least he's out in front of this. So, what's become of Lafferty? Well, he's third in this little group after a bad start. That's Billy Russell in front, making it through triple threat cleanly. David Camo, not so fortunate. And Lafferty will pick up a spot the hard way. All right, it may not be pretty, but that position is critical. With Knight out front riding his own pace, Lafferty must get out of these bottlenecks to have any shot at last man standing. As for Camo, well, it only gets worse. By the time he gets back underway, Justin Williamson, chasing that SpaghettiO sponsorship, has gone by to pick up another position. And remember, good news, bad news, Caleb Ramsey? Can you tell that Caleb's local? From Weatherford, Texas. Brought the whole fan club. Attaboy, Caleb.
Where's he going?
Somewhere between hither and thither. Billy Russell got lost. Jeff Fredette had the same problem, but a different solution. Now, there you go. Now we're back where we belong. Based on the problems there in broad daylight, the nighttime crowd at Joshua Tree have reason to expect the worst. But when the first headlight appears, David Knight delivers a one-dab masterpiece. Oh, nice. Next to appear, it's Lafferty. He's made his way to second spot. The opportunity there to gain ground on the leader. Unfortunately, It won't happen this way. Behind, the night grows even longer for Fredette. But hey, when you've been winning ISDE medals for a quarter century, what more do you have to prove? And remember the gnarly dude from Canada, British Columbia's Guy Perret? Here's Guy at his most gnarly. Well done. After 9 hours of this abuse, pushing doesn't get any easier. Guy Cooper will tell you this is what keeps him young. For the leader night, final pit stop.
Water, Todd.
Who's second?
Lafferty. They say 5 minutes, but you're going perfect right now. Just keep doing exactly what you're doing. Is the bike good?
Yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
No worries. Let's do this thing, bud.
For some guys, it just seems to come so easy. For others, it is so very, very hard. Spirit. We'll be right back. The last man standing competition is in its final lap, and here's why David Knight has led it from the beginning. Even when he loses momentum, he pulls the fat from the fire. The only damage to the sponsor's sign. Boom. For others, it's over.
I didn't have any balance. Going in straight lines with a little bit of a groove in it and stuff, and I was just doing a lot of wobbling and stuff. And
Fatigue.
Fatigue. Yeah. That's a good word. Yeah. No, it was a good, tough race, you know, and it's just too tough for me.
Caught a tree pretty hard and it ripped my light off, and I'm making too many mistakes, and I've had a day. Where's that white flag at? Damn it!
I'm proud of you, baby.
There has been another development out there in the darkness. Nathan Kinney is up to second place. Lafferty has crashed, destroying his headlight and forcing a return to the pits. That sets up a fight for the last spot on the podium. Justin Williamson has it, but he's stuck, and Lafferty is nipping at his heels. Literally. Unfortunately for Mike, his exit from the stadium is no more expeditious than was Williamson's, and so they'll continue their fight somewhere out there in the darkness. Up Joshua Tree for the final time. The day-long leader Knight again dazzles the fans. This time, he savors a quick bit of refreshment into the checker.
That was awesome. That's right. That was awesome. Yeah, good job. That was bad to the bone right there.
Guy Perret again. When those big four-strokes stop, they stop in a hurry. Fortunately, Guy didn't get his leg between the rock and the big four-stroke. He presses on to 13th place. Here's a classic late race situation. Starting up triple threat, Steve Nicholas in back can see his opponent stalled. If I can see him, I can catch him. But that means so little too much throttle, and Nicholas winds up 16th. But the point is, you never stop trying to make that pass. For Nathan Canny in second place, this is potentially the ride of his career. A broken hand and a team change marred the early part of this season, but Nathan has hit his stride lately. Now he's trying desperately to keep this guy, Mike Lafferty, behind him. Mike gains a bunch of ground here. The clock is winding down in a hurry. Most embarrassing moment of the race. How about Jeff Mellick's end? He finished 10th. And how about one more shout for Camo? His final assault on Josh Woodfree ranked right up there where the winners were. David finished 8th. And we'll be right back to see who is the last man standing. Stay tuned. Sometimes it's just your day or your night. That bright moon proved to be very beneficial to the last man standing. As David Knight headed for the finish line, he has a helmet light, but his headlight has given up the ghost.
All right. Good job, buddy.
My light just got up there, like 200 meters ago.
Hey. It seems entirely fitting that the world's most accomplished enduro rider this year should claim this inaugural trophy. Let's hear from him.
Congratulations, David, all the way from the Isle of Man to become the last man standing in the U.S. Now, there must be a message there.
Yeah, that was difficult. My lights were off about half a mile back there, so luckily I was near the finish, so yeah, it feels great.
How tough was it for the fans that are out there watching? How tough was this race?
Really tough, you know, physically. There was a few big hills, and every lap they were getting worse. So it's one of the most difficult races I've done for a long time.
High praise for a guy who this year won the World Championship 6 days and 4 extreme enduros. Runner-up, Nathan Canny, High Falls, New York.
Nathan, second to last man standing. That's not too shabby.
Yeah, we'll take it, you know. I had some problems with my light out there. You know, I got in the tight stuff and I had to shut my headlight off and just use my helmet light. So, you know, it was a little frustrating trying to charge like that, but, you know, second like that's pretty good, so I'll take it.
Quickly, your thoughts on this event?
Oh, it's a great event. You know, it's something that the off-road community has been needing for a long time, and, you know, Red Bull and, you know, whatever club this is in Texas stepped up to the plate and put it on, and, you know, that this off-road racing has been needing this for a while, so I think it's really good.
So, what happened to Lafferty out there in the darkness that cost him the runner-up finish?
I just went out. I was a couple miles off the start there, and I took my hand off to get something to drink. I just put the straw in my mouth. As soon as I took my hand off, I must have hit a hole, and next thing I know, I was swapping, and the thing fell down. I went back, found my bike, and the light was all jacked up and stuff, and I didn't know exactly what was going on, and even my my helmet light was all messed up too. It came unplugged. But I had a great time. I think it was a lot of fun, and the experience of it was really cool. I mean, the hills and everything was perfect, and shortening it up by at the end was probably the best thing to do. So I had a great time.
And so the inauguration of this unusual competition goes into the books as a great success. Red River Motorcycle trails through a formidable challenge at an outstanding field of international off-road stars. They brought their skill, nerve, endurance, and will. But for most, the challenge was simply too difficult. Only 16 of 88 riders made it to the finish. That is a powerful tribute to Britain's David Knight. He is the last man standing.